can't afford an expensive gym membership. So what do we do to get ourselves fit and to make sure we stick to it?
Yeah, it's a really, really difficult one, isn't it? Because I think if you look at the data on the last YouGov poll, at what kinds of resolutions people tend to make, it does tend to be ones that circulate around health, improving health, losing weight, eating better, smoking less, and so forth. So it is the number one priority when it comes to most people's resolutions and what they aim to try and change going forwards. But we find ourselves in a significant cost of living crisis, and people have to make hard decisions about what comes first. The basics, or what perhaps some people perceive as the luxuries when it comes to attending gym and gym memberships. So the latest data is tending to indicate that about 10% of the country are considering cancelling their gym memberships, or have already quit their gym memberships because they simply can't afford it, and they have to make tough choices given the cost of living situation.
I mean, it's an interesting one, Chris, isn't it? In that you can understand why people want to do it at home, and of course you can do it for virtually nothing. But it's motivation, isn't it? There's more of a motivation, more of a pressure if you're going to a gym, and I suppose if you're paying out money to go and do it. So how do you get people to maintain motivation if they're just doing it at home on their own?
That is the key question. I'm glad you said that. Motivation is the key. I think most people know, that losing weight's good for them. They know that they can access information fairly easily. Most people tend to have a good level of health literacy. So they know what's good for them. They know they have that information. The key is motivation, but also opportunity. Those are the two big questions. A lot of people don't have the opportunity to access, gyms and do what's necessary because of the whole cost of living crisis, or because they have very poor confidence, or they have accessibility issues. So there's those issues. But then the other thing is motivation, which is connected to all that. So you do have to be motivated. And I think one thing I'd like to sort of point out to people is try not to think of losing weight and getting fitter and healthier as a temporary New Year's resolution, because New Year's resolutions, again, if you look at the data, most people struggle to adhere to them over a long period of time. I think about 20% of people only manage to keep to New Year's resolutions over a 12-month period. So you don't want to sort of frame it in that way. You want to frame the idea of getting fit and healthy as more of a permanent lifestyle change, So if you frame it in that way, if you do struggle to maintain something, and you perhaps make some mistakes and don't follow your New Year's resolutions, at least if you frame it in that way, you'll be thinking, okay, well, it's not a broken resolution. This is a permanent lifestyle commitment that I'm going to just continue to approach and try and achieve. The other thing I'd say about motivation is get support. Do it with a friend, do it with a family member. As I said earlier, one of the problems is that a lot of people have low confidence, they have a lot of anxiety, and they're a little bit, they'll struggle to do it on their own. So, go and get your closest friend, do this together, and try to sort of commit to it together. That will increase motivation. That should work.